to BioWare Pulse at Gamescom. I'm Deacon MacDonald from BioWare, and welcome back. So, Star Wars The Old Republic has a huge present here at Gamescom, including behind closed doors demos, a huge booth with playable content, and a Q&A earlier with BioWare co-founders Ray and Greg. Now, we're pleased to have on Star Wars The Old Republic producer Cory Butler. Thanks for coming to BioWare Pulse.
Oh, thanks, Deke. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yeah, excellent to have you on board. So, what exactly are your responsibilities on the Star Wars The Old Republic team?
As a live producer, our department is in charge of running the testing programs, getting the game ready to be a live service, and then running that live service once it's out there.
That's fantastic. So, Star Wars The Old Republic, this is its third year at Gamescom. Still looks insane. The lineup is huge. So tell me, is there something different that we're showing everyone today, this year?
Oh, absolutely. We're revealing a brand new Warzone this year. We're talking in detail about operations, which is our version of raids for the first time ever. And we're, for the first time in Europe, allowing people to go hands-on with the PvP so they can play the Alderaan Warzone.
Wow, that's incredible. And we've got some awesome cosplay people out there all dressed up in, of course, our favourite Star Wars characters, so that's really cool too. It's given a good vibe to the show. So what we're going to do today is actually go through some tweets, and hopefully you're ready for all the hard questions. Okay, all right, let's have a look. First of all, I think as well we want to recap on what has been really exciting for Star Wars The Old Republic in the last 4 weeks. So as I find a cool question on Twitter, what's been happening recently?
Well, one of the things, one of the big news right now is that you can pre-order the game. So the game is available for pre-order right now.
Excellent. We love a good pre-order. So, I have a great question here from Chorus Boy Cotter. Okay. Will there be crafting of just armor and weapons, or upgrades for ships, weapons, etc.? So, vanity items, and how will that work?
Well, you can use true skills to craft more than just armors and weapons. And there are modifications for almost all the weapons in the game and the armor in the game. And then you will be able to upgrade your ship in certain ways.
That's awesome. And we're just going to keep trying to find some... I've got
just
lots
look
of
for the really easy ones, right?
The easy ones for you. Oh, that's good. So,
like, what's your favorite class?
We've got a great question, and it's specifically for Cory Butler, and it's from CR120575. And question for Cory Butler: are same gender romance arcs in/out or not decided yet in Star Wars: The Old Republic?
Same gender romances are not in Star Wars: The Old Republic.
That was a quick answer. Didn't give me enough time to find another question. That's awesome.
Well, I can't say, we do have all 8 classes available for play here at Gamescom, so we can go hands-on with any class in the game. We want everybody to start figuring out which class they want to play now, so that way when they pre-order, they'll be ready to go day one. That's
awesome. Okay, so I've just had a new one come through from internet_champs. So is the Star Wars The Old Republic team designing hard mode operations with more of a challenge in mind, or more towards accessibility for all?
Well, actually, there's a couple of ways that you can adjust the difficulty level of your operations. It's based on how many team members you want to take into it. So if you go in with 8 team members, it may be a little less difficult than if you go in with, say, 16 team members. And then there is an option in the game where you can actually set the difficulty level. We're not going to go into a lot of detail about that just yet, but it's something that we want to talk about in the future.
That's awesome. Great. Okay. So I really like this one from Pelly Buch. We know that your personal story will be in the hundreds of hours, but how many hours of class quests can we expect per class?
Jeez, that's a tough one, right?
Yeah, it's a very tough one.
I could say that there are, about 60 novels worth of content in this game, and most of that stuff is going to revolve around your class quests.
Okay, good answer. So we've got another one from Steekson91. It's, will there be more ways of doing PvP than just war zones like Arena, 1v1, 2v2, etc.? Also, how many players can play in a PvP war zone?
Well, currently there is more than one way to approach PvP. You can do open world PvP, so the dual faction planet of Nar Shaddaa, for example, if you've flagged yourself for PvP or you're on a PvP server, as soon as you hit the planet surface, it's up for grabs. You can easily be attacked by any member of the opposing faction.
That's awesome. So this is probably a very very good question that you get asked quite often, and it's from A. Asama. How will the Old Republic differentiate itself from World of Warcraft gameplay-wise?
Well, I think the story is obviously something that's very innovative and unique. It's the first fully voiced MMO ever. And with that, the multiplayer conversation system is really innovative and unique.
Yeah.
And just the combat in general is different. It's visceral, it's action-packed, it's in your face.
That's awesome. That's great. Of course, we've got a lot to expect from Star Wars The Old Republic. So I'm going to take a couple more questions, and then we can just get into some generic key questions about Star Wars The Old Republic.
Sure.
So from Jiva Very, can every character or race acquire a Jawa companion?
I wish that were the case. Currently, no. The Jawa companion is only one class's companion, and he's Blizz. He's actually one of my favorite companion characters in the game.
Okay, great. We have a few more coming in here, and then okay, this one's for specifically you, Cory, from Stormnut. Can you tell us when to expect beta weekend details as far as dates, when testing begins and ends, and the selection?
It's details, always the details.
It's always the details, of course.
I can tell you the testing has already begun. We've been in external testing for a while now, but we are going to be moving more towards these big beta testing weekends that we're going to be doing. So, if you've already signed up for testing on the website, then the likelihood of you getting invited is going to increase as we move forward. And if you haven't, you should definitely go sign up now.
That is awesome. So, guys, I think we've just heard some fantastic questions from you guys on Twitter. We've got some great responses from Cory. But Cory, is there anything else that you'd like to talk to us about the Star Wars The Old Republic? Anything exciting new, or is it too hush-hush to really put it out on the table here?
Like I said, here at Gamescom, we're talking about operations for the first time. We showed the Eternity Vault. We're showing a demo live on the stage floor and behind closed doors. And then we revealed a brand new war zone called Hutball, which takes place on the neutral world of Nar Shaddaa, which I mentioned earlier. And it's a brutal spectator sport. The Hutt Cartel organizes it. They bring in players from all across the galaxy to compete for fame and fortune for their entertainment.
That is fantastic. So, Cory, I want to thank you so very much for making your way from all the crowds, the 6-hour lineup out the front of your Star Wars booth, over to our BioWare poll stage in front of the Mass Effect 3 stand at Gamescom. It's been a pleasure, and I hope everyone at home is still tuning in to our live coverage. Thanks very much for joining us. Remember, stay tuned to BioWare Pulse. We've got heaps more coverage for you tonight, especially at 6:15 tonight with a live main stage presentation with David Silverman and Mike Gamble on Mass Effect 3.